that Jesus Christ is the only way. Do you think there's many ways, or there's a specific way?
I don't think that there is a way.
Okay.
I think that it's just like, it's nature. It's not a spiritual anything.
Okay. Neat.
Everything can be explained by.
There are very many spiritual ways. There are more than one path to God. Any path to Jesus Christ or your God is a correct path.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So that's spiritually speaking, there could be an ultimate truth, or we can each have our own way. Like there's different spiritual paths, but they're all right.
There's different spiritual paths.
Okay. I'll let you.
I think what you believe is what you believe. I don't know what's actually true, but
So you're saying that someone could believe something, but it could be wrong,
yeah.
right?
I don't think necessarily any spiritual path is true.
Okay. Well, here's an example. In Christianity,
Christian, so that means I believe there's a way to God, Jesus. Okay. Would you say though that all religions and people that practice different religions are all kind of going to end up in the same place with God, or in other words, do all those paths also lead to God?
I think they're just all different stories to one thing. They're just all different variations of one thing. They're just different ways of saying there's only one, I guess, God. They just tell different ways, I guess.
Okay, different ways to that one God.
To that one God.
It's just like a different story.
Just different story to one thing. They just say it different. He looks different and he acts different.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Awesome.
Like, it's basically the same thing. He said, I feel, like, it's just all connected to one thing. Like, there's not necessarily one religion or whatever. There's not one right or wrong. It's just like they're all like leading to the same thing. It's just how they interpret it.
I see.
Yeah, just that's how I feel.
Cool.
This is where you know someone really well. And all relationships start out here where you don't really know them at all. And just a show of hands, raise your hand if you think one day you might want to get married if you're not already. Okay, a couple people, great. All right, so high intimacy, when you say one day you'd like to get married, you're saying I want to be intimate one day with someone. I want to have a soulmate. I want to have a lifelong love, a best.
Welcome to the Daily Gospel of John. Glad you've chosen to watch. Looking at verse 40 and 41 in John 9.
We're surrounded by a lot of information-rich systems that are far more complex than this. Let's take a look. If you pick up a local newspaper, well, there's a little more information in here than in the Heart in the Sand. I mean, there's the cover stories and lifestyle, and you've got entertainment and ads and editorials, sports, a lot of information in here. Now, one could try to explain the principles of ink bonding to paper fibers, and yes, that would explain the chemical basis of what we see here. But ink bonding to paper fibers doesn't tell about the meaning within the pages. We know that this meaning is the product of intelligence, writers and editors and photographers. We don't have to see them in process making this to know that there is intelligence involved. It's pretty intuitive that we can figure that out. But what about when we look within us, or within every living thing on this earth? There's DNA in the nucleus of every cell. And so in the 100 trillion or so cells in my body, there's DNA, about 500 encyclopedias worth of basically computer code. Probably the most condensed, complex information that we know of in the universe. And some people would say that that information, of course, is just the product of random forces of nature and chemical bondings. I find that hard to believe. Or they tell me that the human brain processes 300 billion bits of information per second as it serves as command central for those 100 trillion cells in the human body. And that just blows me away. I think, well, how could such a thing happen by chance? Or the human eye with 136 million light-sensitive rods and cones to take in messages from our environment in color and black and white and transmit them through a little fiber optic cable to be interpreted by the brain. And we look at that and say, well, that could happen by accident through random chaotic processes, and yet the heart in the sand and this paper definitely needed intelligence. I don't have quite enough faith to accept that. The Bible tells me that the heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the works of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they display knowledge. In the book of Romans chapter 1, it says, what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, his invisible qualities, eternal power, and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through what has been made, so that they are without excuse. We have no excuse.